cartoon reboots and revivals have been extremely hit or miss pretty much since their inception. It's more challenging than you think breathing new life into something that was a product of its time. And every TV show is a product of its time. These are projects that have an extensive development process to ensure the characters, settings, and stories are relatable to the viewers at home, which means being aware of what appeals to the viewers at that time of development. How a show looks is going to be a compromise of personal art styles, trends, and what's going to ultimately be the easiest on the animators. How it moves is going to be reliant on the technology, what resources are available at the time. When a crew is fully assembled, that's a crew that could have only been formed due to the circumstances of that time, what led everyone involved to that point. And of course, stories tend to pull from life experience. So although someone may be writing in the industry for 20 years, I'm sure the nature of their stories will change, not just as their skill improves, but as they grow older and gain more perspective. The script someone puts out their third year in the industry is probably going to look different from the kind of script they deliver 10, 15 years in. Hell, the short stories I wrote as a kid were drastically different from the ones I wrote as a teenager, and those stories are a far cry from the spec scripts I dabble in at 24. Not just because of, education and essays, but because I pull from the life I live, and how I perceive that life is constantly changing. The reason most animated reboots and revivals have been ass is because the people behind it failed at bringing it into the new age. So when I hear a show like The Proud Family is getting a sequel series, my curiosity peaked, but I was worried. Because while it was a show I felt deserved more episodes back when it ended, yes, I kept tabs on shows in it as a kid. It's called being a nerd. It also screams early 2000s on rewatch. Does it impact the quality at all? No, not really. But I was nervous that against all odds, they'd fumble the bag. Not everything may translate well. Maybe the spirit of the show gets left behind. Maybe it just won't be funny. Or maybe it'll ultimately serve no purpose beyond justifying the mouse taking $8 out of my pocket each month. Luckily, all that bullshit I just said was wrong. The Proud Family Louder and Prouder is dope. It's a worthy successor to the original, and I'm gonna tell you why. I couldn't get a read on Louder and Prouder leading up to its premiere. I knew I was excited, cause again, I loved the show growing up. Every day at like noon in the summer of 05-06, I'd make a PB&J and watch reruns on Disney Channel. And it's nice to see the original creator back on board to serve up some black excellence on a streaming silver platter. But also, history just has me wary. But as soon as I started the episode, I knew my precious nostalgic memories were in good hands. You know how Kim Possible had the movie Soul the Drama with the cool-ass Tron suit, and Kim definitely killed Chico, and Bueno Nacho was involved, and Kim and Ron kissed at the prom, and the show ended, but then Disney brought it back one more time, so they retconned it into Junior Prom, and Chico was alive, but they kept the status quo changes. Louder and Prouder does that, kinda. You may remember the Proud Family movie, which concluded the series as Penny turned 16 years old. Y'all remember that one song they used to have in the commercials? Penny's 16 when her party goes awry because her daddy Oscar caught her kissing a guy. Proud Family! Disney Channel! God, certified banger. Well, Penny's still older, just not 16. She's 14 again? I'm just assuming Disney wouldn't let her stay 16 or get any older, since they also didn't let the Amphibia girls remain 16 as originally intended. I don't know, something about demographics and relatability. But to honor the idea of her 16-year-old self while simultaneously modernizing the show, the main cast is suddenly imbued with puberty? Like, they're magic balls of light that fly off into different directions, the houses of our teen characters, and it results in drastic overnight growth spurts, Spider-Man style, and the animation style changes. Everyone's taller, they switched up their look a bit. Michael's upgraded to main character, who's just styling all over everyone else. La Cienega looks like a flapjack close-up. It's an anime time skip. I also noticed they've given a lot of characters newer hairstyles, which is refreshing to see, breaking out of the ages where a black character kind of looked like Erwin, Gerald, or just bald. Sticky's rare now on account of Roletta Brown being a menace to society.
I mean, she gave me, and then I gave her some, and
he's replaced with a new family in town, though we focus on the siblings. KG, the dude with Sticky's exact same energy, and his sister, Maya, voiced by Keke Palmer. And the moment Maya's introduced was the moment it all clicked with me, what they're trying to do with this revival. Up until this point, the episode was basically just we back vibes, but her first scene really sets the stage for what's to come. Maya is the character who's preventing the show from becoming a time capsule by challenging Penny's role as protagonist. I mean, she basically tells Penny she has main character syndrome when Penny tries to figure out the tension between them. Maya's a loner activist. Her interests lie more in politics than boys. She's reading race after technology in her introduction scene. But honestly, her and Penny are alike in a lot of ways. It makes sense there be friction because they're both outspoken, they both stick to their guns, and they both kinda have an ego. Their dynamic is a welcomed addition, one that makes sense for a proud family that's a little more mature. Maya is quick to catch on to Penny's shortcomings, although she's harsh in how she goes about it, but Penny's able to return that energy without grasping at straws. These two call each other out on their bullshit. That is someone everyone needs. Someone to keep you in check and grounded. And from these first 2 episodes alone, that's definitely what they're developing into. In general, it seems like Maya's family will serve as the modern family. Again, Maya's an activist. She has 2 gay dads, one of which has already had screen time and is a big sweetheart. Her brother apparently says sheesh a lot and is probably playing Smash on the Switch, so I guess that describes men in 2022. I imagine we'll mainly see Penny and Oscar navigate through the cultures, politics, and lifestyles in this day and age, through their experiences with not just his new family on the block, but other characters we've yet to be introduced to. This still very much feels like the Proud Family. You get the relatable scenarios that are exaggerated into cartoony proportions, like Penny almost breaking out a talking bear from the zoo to impress Maya, or going mad with power after canceling a makeup influencer. Hey sister looking ass. The characters still feel like real people. They talk like real people. It feels like they live alongside us, and I think that continued blend of real and fake celebrities definitely helps that. Though I feel like they're name dropping the real ones a lot more here than the original.
Drake, Cardi B, and Bruno Mars done reached out to us today. We finna blow up.
It's not afraid to get goofy despite treating the characters with a greater sense of maturity. You still get the hilarious visual gags that catch you off guard when you least expect it. We get to see Oscar's crazy ass schemes and his hatred for Wizard Kelly. You still get sequences that are funny but low-key a vibe, like Oscar expressing his love for Prince. The music still pops off while being quiet when it needs to be. Poppy's still one day away from Suga Mama getting Rosetta Stone and beating his ass. The characters are still roasting each other into oblivion. Penny messes up and faces consequences and still learns a meaningful lesson that doesn't talk down to the audience. Everything that made the Proud Family great back then is here. You can tell the voice actors are really happy to be back and a part of this. Everyone's performance is great. The characters have never felt more alive. Despite all this time off the air, the Proud Family is still very much what you would call hip with the kids. Except when they say, "What are those?" or "Sheesh." Oh my god, why is Sheesh KG's thing? I'm not making this up. This is from his character bio. Oh my god. Stop while you're ahead. The next few episodes aren't out yet. Edit any instance of him saying that out. Please, I'm begging you. I am actually begging you. Look, Bruce, you don't know me, but hear me out. You're making a mistake. And this is only 2 episodes in. You already know when we get deeper into the season and the writers have an even stronger grip, it's going to ascend to the top as one of the best shows on streaming right now. The theme song! I haven't talked about the theme song yet! I mean, yeah, it's the average, we're back in business, remix, remade theme song most revivals have at this point. But seeing Oscar open and close the door on a rotating selection of characters in 2022 just hits different. Instead of Destiny's Child, the theme is now performed by Joyce Rice, but she bodied it. I know some people will complain, but I truly dig the new theme song. I definitely enjoyed episode 2 more than episode 1, due to all the insane hijinks they get up to with Penny's cancel culture power trip. It just felt like they did way more with the characters in story here. But you get the feeling they're releasing this out of order, as Maya feels like she's a part of the clique already, interacting with Penny and her friends casually, despite not arriving at that breakthrough in the previous episode. Chances are these episodes were produced out of order, which is normal for a show, but then Disney Plus just decided to release them in production order, rather than one that makes a bit more sense continuity-wise. But hey, it's just like the good old days. Airing episodes out of order was Disney Channel's shit. Woo! Being lost in the story of that Jake Long always had me guessing as a kid. Despite favoring episode 2 though, I loved the scene at the end of episode 1, where Penny stands up for herself to her dad and let him know, yo, I'm growing up. We're dropping this overprotective act. Leave it behind in the OG series, pops. Lastly, I just gotta say, the show is gorgeous. I'm slowly accepting that motion tweening is the future. Hand-drawn animation just can't be king forever when budgets are getting smaller, but this show knows how to make it look dynamic and snappy, even if there's some awkward moments here and there. But the colors and textures pop off so much that you forgive it. Whether if it's on a character's clothes, hair, or the background itself, the color stylist and compositing really elevates things to the next level. Every scene has a mood, enhanced by the lighting, which in itself is subject to an array of colors. taking an already appealing and colorful art style and amplifying it to a half-hour feast for your eyes every week. I'm very much infatuated with Louder and Prouder. It made me feel like a kid again, while also respecting that I'm an adult now, which I'm sure was the intention on some level. I'm sure I'll find some flaws on future rewatches, maybe I'll enjoy some jokes less, but it's comfort TV for me. I'm not expecting a masterpiece, and it's clear it's only going to get better from here. Knowing the Proud family, one of these episodes is going to pave the way for a big conversation. One that I hope you come back to this channel for. But check out Louder and Prouder, I hope you have a good time, and if this video even remotely informed you or entertained you, consider throwing a like and subscribing to the channel for more cartoon greatness, unless you're like, I don't know, allergic to good content like a bitch. Hey, I didn't say anything, I'm just saying.